Joseph Barnette. I am a United States Army veteran. I served from May 1995 to February 2000 as a 14 Tango Patriot missile crew member. Once I made the transition to civilian sector, my first IT job was as a cable dog, and I started at the bottom of the barrel. Fast forward to today, and I'm currently employed as an M365 Senior Exchange Engineer for Leidos at the Department of Transportation. My other responsibilities is to run my business, JAB Cloud Solutions LLC. I am currently certified as a Microsoft Certified Trainer and MS 700 Managing Microsoft Teams. I am also expected to graduate and receive my bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in IT in November. Just a little bit about me, some of the things that I find passionate. Served in the Army and take pride in being a veteran. My family is everything to me. I love volunteering and giving back, brings joy to my heart. I love coaching kids. I love just generally giving back. I started my own wrestling organization, which is the Unity Wrestling Club. I love all genres of music, especially jazz, classical, and old school R&B are my top favorites. Well, at 30, I started to fight MMA. It was fun, but my body couldn't take the constant injuries. So that's just a little bit about me. So right here, I just, kind of what the agenda for tonight is that we already went to the introduction and hobbies and passions. The first portion is going to be the vision and goals of my business, then an overview of the teams, and then how teams and change management together can bring savings to organizations. And then I have a exercise that I pre-recorded the steps, and what it is create a SharePoint site and at the same time build a SOP for the organization. And then at the end, I'll have questions and answers. Is there anybody have any questions before I move on? All right. My business, JAB Cloud Solutions, is only 2 years old. We built the business to provide training, documentation, and all your M365 implementation needs. In the 2 years in business, we have partnered with several service providers, and Microsoft being our main focus. For the next page, I'll go over some of our partners and federal certifications achieved. We are a partner and reseller for Poly, aka Polycom, which merged with Plantronics. Range from Teams approved end devices to full video and audio sound systems. We just recently partnered with a company called Pax8. They provide a distribution of the Microsoft licenses and much, much more. Some of the certifications that we have, we are a certified veteran-owned small business through the VA. We're also certified by the state of Maryland as a veteran-owned small business enterprise and also as a business reserve program, SBR. Let me move on. And any questions on this piece? Okay. This is our visions and goals. This is what I call the 6 steps to success. 6 steps to our success. Section 1 is mentorship programs for the youth and their families. Providing a safe and positive environment is the goal. Section 2 is community outreach and help make environmental change in the community. Helping with community leaders to clean up and restore playgrounds, parks, and restore nature. So we're going to create a top-level Microsoft. This is one of my visions. Create a top-level Microsoft service department for all the customers' on-site demands. SLA requirements met and excellent customer service. And then also with the licensing, we can provide all your licensing for all Microsoft Cloud needs and be able to build a package that provides licenses and endpoint devices. And then documentation, provide in-depth and accurate documentation. We will provide all formats, Word, SharePoint sites, videos, and specialized one-on-one technical training. And number 6, which I think one of the important is training for all areas or technologies we have implemented. Having actual Microsoft certified trainers to give the right instruction is another big advantage. Any questions on our visions and goals at JAB? All right. So next, I want to talk about a program that I want to start. It's always been in the back of my mind. It's called the Mentorship Project 1.0. The premise of this is to provide free Microsoft training, free job placement, and free workforce preparation. This is based on, a lot of people don't know, if you have money, if you're trying to spend money, like my theory is money should never be a reason why a person cannot learn and better themselves. So with this, we provide the free Microsoft training. And then in between that, I'm working on a plan to be able to get certifications and things at no cost to them also. Free job placement. Recently, I've partnered with Nigel Frank, and they've been graciously good enough to help me, they're going to help me whenever the program does finally get started, to find jobs for these. And then most importantly, the free workforce preparation. So, a lot of it is how do you tie a tie? What's the business etiquette? What should you wear to an interview? How should you conduct yourself in a video interview? And there's simple things, in that fact. If there's any questions for this, I'd like to hear them. Any feedback? All right, let's move on. What is Microsoft Teams? Microsoft Teams is a cloud-based communications platform that combines different services for collaboration, such as chat, meetings, calling, and files. Teams is tightly integrated into Microsoft 365 and combines multiple workloads into a unified communication and collaboration system. In addition, Teams offers integration capabilities for additional tools and third-party products. Microsoft Teams is a dynamic and amazing application that allows you the ability to integrate features that will eliminate both waste and cost. There are an estimated $1 million a year wasted on licenses, services, equipment costs, and many other factors that affects the bottom line. While working at the Pentagon, the main goal for the federal customers was save the most money and provide the best security solutions, if it be informational, physical, or digital security. And let's talk about how Teams can save your organization money. Since I was a cable dog, I want to go into the telephony and voice solutions. Did you know that does your business pay for PSTN numbers and fees from a third-party vendor? Did you know that PSTN, which is also known as Public Switch Telephone Network numbers, are bought in blocks, and if an organization doesn't actively use the number, they still will be charged? I work for one of the large government agencies, and they wasted over $1 million a year on items, and we're not even being utilized. Another advantage of having Teams calling, it provides an a la carte style purchasing plan. You can order 1 DID line or 100 for the United States and many foreign countries. What are the advantages? You could have the possibility to cut costs by $1,000 or more. And the next question I have, does your business pay for meeting and conferencing applications? Do you currently pay for a third-party license and have issues implementing and dealing with lackluster service and incident management? What are some disadvantages of using a third party? To me, having a third-party tool provides another point of failure. Then contacting support through another platform is frustrating and can lead to SLAs not being met on a contract. So as a level, Teams provides an all-encompassing meeting and conferencing experience that is second to none. These are just a few features that Microsoft could bring to your organization. Moving on. What is change management? By definition, change management is a collective term for all approaches to prepare, support, and help individuals, teams, and organizations in making organizational change. On to the next slide. When has Teams and change management been used on a global scale? Yep, on December 12th, 2019, COVID-19 started to spread around the globe. You're probably thinking, why is he talking about change management and COVID? How does Microsoft Teams and the M365 suite have to do with this? Well, let me explain. So one of the things that Microsoft did that provided an ease for all businesses is just providing like for example, with these quotes, making teams available for everyone. This was a quote in a blog. I could put the link in the chat if you want. Keep teams up and running. And then also, with these two comments, the making teams available for everyone and keeping teams up and running, that shows that they're adjusting and able to adjust to the difficult times that we ran with teams and with COVID. And the most important fact is how Microsoft had a 37.5% jump as more people work from home during the coronavirus. The only issue is with that is when you have more people working from home, do you have the support staff to provide service tickets and to get users in place? All right, moving on. All right, so I'm going to school and change management is one of my classes, so I thought I'd integrate that within my lesson. So with the Lewin's change management model, I think this is the best way to explain the COVID effect on businesses and the change to virtual learning. Stage 1 is the unfreeze stage. Businesses start to shut down and had no means of providing virtual access to all their employees. This caused people and businesses to panic and started the initial meltdown, aka unfreeze. Second stage is the change phase. This is when businesses change their approach to doing business in an adjusted virtual environment. Third and final stage is refreeze, and the change has been implemented. For the most part, working virtually has become the norm. But at the end of the day, teams and change management practices by Microsoft made the transition smooth. Does anyone have any questions about anything that I've covered so far before I move on to the exercise?
Keep going.
All right. All right, so this exercise is creating an SOP with just 4 tools. First tool is PowerPoint, snipping tool, Word, and Teams. I'm moving on to the scenario. The organization needs you to create a SharePoint site and SOP on how you created the site. You had just started and you're looking to make a name for yourself. The day just got crazy. You need to step your game up and start your task. Move into the objectives task or slide. First objective, create a SharePoint site for all SOPs. Second, record steps by using PowerPoint. Third, watch recording and use snipping tool and Word to build first SOP. Once document has been completed, we'll add to new team site. And the final is open Teams group and open new document. So I pre-recorded these yesterday. So I'm just going to play those. The first one is the SharePoint creation site that I made. And I added some music to the background just to cover the background noise. So right here, I just made a team site. And named the team site Change Management Group. I put in the site description, this a generic description. And next. Added myself as a member. Select finish. Now I'm a design. I went in and designed the SharePoint site so it doesn't look so generic. So I just picked one of the templates. First, I added the Microsoft Teams link to the page. Here, I was going to go down and just pick a template. I picked the most appeasing one to my eyes. Applied the template. Now we have a customized site. All right, so we reached objective one, which was the SharePoint creation site. Does anybody have any questions regarding SharePoint site creation or anything that you saw? All right, I'm gonna move on to the next objective. This is record steps by using PowerPoint. Can everybody see the laser by chance?
I can see
Yeah.
your cursor.
Okay, so yeah, that's part of the video. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna play the second record steps by using PowerPoint. Insert, we're gonna go down, screen recording. We're gonna go back to our customized SharePoint site that we made. Next, we're gonna select the area that we want to centralize on. Click record. Record. Just take your steps as far as the whole process to get to your end goal or your SOP, which you needed to be written within the document. All right, I completed record steps by using PowerPoint. The next step is going to be using the Snip tool in Word for a new SOP. All right, so I got to move on to the next one. Sorry about that. All right, so I took the snip in the video, and I put it in here as that's a generic document. Step one, you put the steps. Make sure it's legible and easy to understand. And also what you need to look for is if there has to be any notes. So if there's like a warning or a note, so for example, sometimes when you're on PowerShell, you only have to install the module once. So I like to put that and be more descriptive as far as, so when somebody reads it, they can go step by step without being confused or not understanding. This is my process I use for all my documentation. Using this style of upgraded and 30 SOPs at the DOT, ranging from unhiding Microsoft Teams and the GAL to advanced settings within the admin portal and being able to go step by step. Sorry, it's the same process. I'm gonna forward a little bit till we get to a point. So it's and one of the things that we do is we have somebody that's not part of our group or another, somebody that's in a different division, try the instructions out, and if they have any issues, that's when we'll go in, and once we upload the document into Teams, that's when the whole team can make edits to the document, have a finalized copy. Sorry. Now we're going to save the copy, change management. Save. We're going to auto save. Let's close this out. Should be the finish. That should be the end of this objective. Any questions on creating and finishing the Word document? If not, moving on. Adding new documents to Teams. With Teams, this is where I'll go in and upload both one of the videos and the actual file itself. And here, just showing that you can open it in the desktop app, or you can do your edits right there in the client. I prefer using the open the desktop app because there's more functionality in the desktop app than it is just going through Teams. That's where you will communicate for any changes. And this goes for any SOPs that have changed or have need updating. You can come in here in the SharePoint site and update these SOPs so they're current and active. And there's a wiki that you can build out. Right here, just verifying we got all the documents and able to open them. And then at the end, that's the end of this, how you can create a SOP and create a SharePoint site, and then be able to upload to Teams and to edit your documents. And any questions on the actual exercise itself?
No, sir.
All right. If there's no other questions, I'd like to thank everyone that took the time this evening to listen to my presentation. Thank you and good night.
Yeah. I don't have necessarily anything about what you presented there, except you were saying that you did this for your client. Just curious, what did you use to record the recording that you were recording? Right, because you basically recording that you were recording.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I couldn't have two separate screens, so I have a third-party tool. Where's it at? Screen-O-Matic. And what that does, that's where you record. You can record everything and then put the music to it. You can make changes.
Got it. Okay, I was just curious. And it looks like you're using like a 2K monitor or something, little wider than normal.
Yes, it's a 36 inch.
Okay. Oh, 36. Oh, nice. Okay.
It has
Um,
the yeah, it's the type that can break down into different
yeah,
quadrants and yeah.
yeah, it's good. I um, I was just curious because I make a ton of videos for my client and I make the videos for the YouTube channel and whatnot for this group. And obviously, I have different tools on Linux than what I have with work. At work, I'm using Camtasia and whatnot. And just one little thing that I love to do is if I'm doing like an actual build out, I
Uh-huh.
like, go 4 or 5x the speed during those little clips just so that people can follow along. But, because sometimes Microsoft takes a while to respond. Like it just
Oh yeah,
speeds right through that.
I got to
Just,
adjust the volume too, on the music,
yeah,
but
not a
I
big deal.
appreciate the
But
feedback.
no, I was just curious because I'm always looking for how I can improve my video stuff, and I'm now using DaVinci Resolve. I was using Caden Live, and but with work I'm using Camtasia, and I oftentimes use PowerPoint to do the recordings as well. And it's been a
Yeah,
pain for certain things. But I don't like making Word documents. I feel like I just want people to use web pages and stop using
yeah,
Word. And so sometimes I'll create an MHT just by
uh-huh.
like pasting everything inside of OneNote, make it all nice and
Right.
pretty, create MHT. Or you can kind of do that in Word where you make it as a web page instead and whatnot. So just wondering, like, if you had been learning a lot of tips and tricks and lessons learned on how you're creating the training material.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely that's why I'm presenting just to get everybody's feedback and um, I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you, Scott, for letting me speak into the
Oh
group.
yeah, yeah. I'm well aware of what it takes to do the editing process to some of these videos. So I'm just pointing out that uh, it's always great whenever I can respect the amount of work that you've just put into this. But I want to ask about the mentoring thing that you're doing. So you're
Yeah,
planning on giving training to a lot of vets. Any
yeah.
non-vets?
Oh, and really, I just it's non-vets. It's you know you have somebody that doesn't have the money. I want to provide the platform so that they can come here, get trained, get placed in a job, and then also learn how to get a job, and also how to run an interview, and then also it's all continuous mentorship. So it's not once that happens, it doesn't stop. It's continuous 360. And then my goal is to each tier, each person that goes through, it'll get a little bit harder as far as getting their certification. Just basic for tier one, tier two would be like more of like a Teams MS 700, and then all the way up. I mean, but as far as the vision, we only have pretty much the one tier for now.
Okay.
With before COVID, I worked with Maryland, I think education, and we were going to get a program together. Same thing, but after it had happened right before COVID hit, and then the lady lost communication with me. But yeah, that is the whole goal is mentorship veterans. I visit there's homeless shelters or homeless camps near me, and I like to go in there and talk to them and see whatever I could do as a person to help, if that
Yeah.
means trying to give them a skill or just advice that that's good for
Yeah.
me and for them.
Yeah. I totally understand that. Just if you got information about that I can include inside of the description of the video whenever I post this to YouTube, I'd
Okay.
love it if you could send it to me. That way it gets put into there. Or if you got another like video snippet where I can stitch it onto the back end of this one or to the front or whatever. You know, we can do that. And if you need any help making additional videos, or whatever, I'm happy to help with that because I'm always looking to create some content. Do you have your own YouTube channel for what you're doing?
I do, but I haven't. I recorded some videos last year. It's been a year now.
Yeah,
Sharepoint sites and just different
I
basic technology. So.
understand. I understand. I have a hard time getting some of these videos out there. But no, if you need assistance, let the rest of us know because you know we like to do all that stuff too. Joe Dunn, Chief Dunn, he's former Navy vet. I'm Army vet. You're Army vet.
Okay. Yeah.
We know a lot of vets in this space, so we like to give back too.
That's
So
good.
if you can send any of that info out, I'd like to share that along with people too.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely.
Cool beans. Anybody else got comments, questions, or otherwise?
Nope. Thanks a lot.
I'm gonna hit stop.
Right.